I'm here today for asking for assistance for our investigation into the murder of 26-year-old Akadash Deep at his family home in Plascombe Road in Wolverhampton. In the early hours of Tuesday the 25th of June, around about 1 o'clock in the morning, we know that a person wearing dark clothing and carrying what we think is a petrol canister went up to the front window of their house, and then several loud bangs were heard. And then that person deliberately set a fire in the family home. Tragically, Akadash Deep was killed, and 2 of his family members remain in hospital in a serious condition.
23-year-old Cody Fisher. On Boxing Day 2022, 23-year-old Cody Fisher was tragically murdered at the Crane nightclub in Birmingham. The incident stemmed from a minor accidental nudge at Pop World in Solihull 2 days earlier, which offended Remy Gordon's ego. Gordon, obsessed with revenge, spent Christmas Day plotting and tracked Fisher's whereabouts through social media. Gordon and his friend Cammy Carpenter bought tickets to the Crane event, intending to assault Fisher.
Look at how ridiculous this has become. The people out there want to take a life over an accidental nudge. It doesn't really make sense at all. An accidental nudge, plotting, taking the life, going to assault and escalating a situation beyond what it should never have been. This is a perfect example of how society has broken down and how people are become more and more irrational, and they don't think about the consequences of their crime. My question is, those who govern us, those in government, what can be done? What can the local authority do, and what can politicians do, and what can community leaders do to prevent crime? What needs to take place in our communities to keep us all safe? I'd love to hear your views. I'd love to hear your views on the consequences of what should happen to the perpetrators. Or is it up to the community now to stand up and rise up and protect themselves? Because there are people out there that are so dangerous. Where does it really start? Does it start with drugs? Where does it all start? This needs to be tackled via root cause. And this needs to be tackled, I believe, is by proactive prevention, and there also needs to be a reactive response that needs to be hardline, so people know the consequences of what they're doing and what they're going to get. So consequential work, yes, ramification will work, ramifications will work, yet at the same time there needs to be proactive preventions, so that the mind at an early stage, early intervention will curtail criminality in future. So proactive prevention. That is my thought. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Community leaders, politicians, youth leaders, religious leaders, what needs to happen? I've not heard anything from you guys. What needs to happen in order to create this change? What do you believe needs to happen? Let's have some healthy debate on this. What needs to happen? People from the community, what do you think needs to happen to stop the stems of crime progressing and growing? Because we seem to just see a lawless society where people have no consequences to their actions. What needs to happen in communities? And I'm talking about rationally thinking. Who needs to take real responsibility? We know that individuals take responsibility for themselves. We know that we're all responsible for our own actions. Yes, that's understood, but what really needs to happen? What can we do as a community